Hi guys, Tim Kratiris here from Social Media Servants with our next Ask Anything. I hope you've had a good weekend, and thank you again for posting your questions. We've got 3 great ones this week and we will get straight into it. First one, how do we measure the value of social media? This is an interesting sort of question, and probably the one that most business owners have had over the last 3 years. There's 2 types of ways of measuring the value of social media. First of all, it's how your business sets KPIs, i.e. where's the traffic from social media going? Is it going through to my sales portals? Is it going through to my branding? Is it creating a bigger community, a bigger client base? Is it having an effect on the conversion of sales I'm getting online and offline? So there's a value there for businesses that are tracking that. There's also a value in terms of just SEO increases, engagement and having better fans and whatnot. The way that we measure it is obviously using analytics, looking at all the Facebook analytics, looking at the Google analytics, and looking at all the separate platform analytics and seeing how the community is responding and what they're doing, how much time people are spending on it, where they're actually clicking after they get certain types of content, and that's pretty much what we look at it as. The other way of sort of measuring the value of social media is what we call an insurance policy. Because this is such a new medium and really the way business is actually being conducted now is changing so much, the value of social media may be the existence of your business. Now, we can't measure that in a return on investment, but the fact of the matter is businesses that aren't investing in social media at the moment are going to have massive problems if it keeps growing at the rate it is, or even if it stays where it is. If you don't have an infrastructure in place that you can connect with your community, you can keep your customers engaged and in one place, and you know the triggers that you have for your customers using social media. If you don't understand that, you're going to have massive problems, because a lot of businesses are just sitting back going, do you know what, I'll see how social media goes, and if I need it, I'm just going to invest a lot of money. The great thing about social media is you can't just throw money at the problem to fix it. It's about relationships. It's about connecting with customers. You can't just buy love. So the people who are investing now with the thought process that it will be important in the future or get even more important are the ones that are seeing the total value. And we obviously take that line as well, that it's not a choice of whether you see the return on investment right now. The return on investment for you is survival in the future or having a competitive advantage in the future that no one else in your marketplace does. So I hope that answers the question. The second question is, what's the most important thing to look at in terms of analytics? So this is leading on to what we just discussed. Depending on the role you want your social media platforms to play, obviously depends on what analytics you'll be looking at and how you're tracking them. For instance, if you're an online store, I want to be looking at which platforms are generating most traffic, and also is that traffic going to the place where I'm most likely to purchase. So I'm looking at a lot of my Facebook analytics, I'm looking at my Google analytics, I'm looking at my conversion rates through Google Analytics and seeing what's the cost of acquiring a fan through my other platforms, and when it gets to a conversion, what's my profitability on that? And if you're a business that can understand that and can really start to track at it, really start to analyze it, if you can see that every time you invest $1 here, it's worth $1.10, $1.20, $2, $3 on your online store or your offline store, then you've got an amazing competitive advantage, because you can keep investing in that platform and know that you're going to be producing a positive result. So in terms of analytics, it's depending on what your business is trying to do with its social. Some people just want to build exposure. So you're looking at things like, am I getting more likes in my target market? Am I connecting to the right sort of people? Are the type of people commenting the people I want to be in my client base? Am I building my database using social? All those sort of things. So depending on your KPIs as a business is dependent on what analytics you're going to look at first. But overall, the most important thing is to know your KPIs, find the analytics that match those KPIs, and look at them regularly. So, third question. If it looks like you guys are always out to lunch on your Instagram, what is the favorite food in the office? It's true, we do put a few pictures of lunches and things from around here. We're actually very lucky. We're living in what we'd consider the cultural hub of Melbourne, Fitzroy. So we've got the best cafes, the best coffee. This could start a really big debate on our platform, but we're very lucky with the options we have for food. What do we like most? It does vary, but you might see that we're pretty into the Vietnamese pho at the moment, or photographer, as Gemma calls it. And we also, well, if we look at Alana, she's into donuts. She's in the middle of her 40-day challenge, so she really likes pink donuts. I'm really just putting that on here to annoy her. We love to see what people like to eat and drink, so if you're connected to us, show us what you're eating for lunch. We're always looking for inspiration when 12:30 comes around. That's it for today. That's our Ask Anything. Have a great weekend. Thank you again for engaging and keeping your questions coming. We're running a whole bunch of seminars in the near future. If you want to connect, we'll be live streaming a couple of them. Check it out, register, connect, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great weekend.